Hello there. I'm making this little movie for the people that are on my moving out of chronic pain course specifically, but it's for anyone really that's interested in kind of opening up the nervous system a little bit in order to make some changes in their lives. So that's what we're doing on the moving out of pain course really. It's just trying to encourage the nervous system to open and to let go of old kind of restrictive patterns that don't really serve us anymore. So things that have happened to us in the past over the years that we've, various reactions and habits and beliefs that we've accumulated, which then also contribute to, a sense of being restricted or fearful or frightened or lost. Any of those kind of negative or limiting beliefs. So what I wanted to talk to you today about is something very simple called presence, okay? And it's kind of in the basic toolkit of what we might need to practice in order to make some changes in our lives, okay? And it seems like, quite a weird thing to focus on in some ways. But of course the present moment is where all change happens. It can never be any other way. So, and if you've probably found it's actually really hard. It seems simple, but it's not, is it? Just, if you try sitting and being present for a minute, you'll find that that's quite tricky because you want to, disappear off somewhere else, or you get distracted by thoughts or feelings, sensations, emotions that might take you somewhere else. Okay, so one of the very basic things we need to do is to even know what it feels like to be present. I remember when I first started messing around with this, I sort of didn't even know what it was to be present. I still find it hard now to do that as well. But one of the things we can do, of course, is to focus on our sensations, the information coming in. So the basic ones, of course, are touch, sight, smell, taste, sound. Because they always happen in the present moment. You can't have a sensation like that coming in from the past. So it's quite a good way of just practicing in the short term. It's kind of like anchors you into the present moment for just a little while. So you can just literally practice, sitting somewhere, getting quiet and just listening. Or just sitting somewhere quietly and just notice how your body feels on the inside. Or where the weight's falling, where you're touching the ground. You can, of course, humans are really quite oriented to sight, aren't we? It's one of the most, obvious things that we contact the world through our vision and what we see. So that too, if you can just sit and just look around you and just see things, maybe without labeling them, just let the observing things, almost like you imagine it was for the first time, so that sense of curiosity. And that helps to sort of maintain interest just for a little bit, so that you can stay in the present moment with it. It's hard, and the thing is with presence too, that because it's a place that we need to work in order for all things, for healing to happen properly, there has to be a capacity to stay in the present moment. Okay, so that we can, and we have to get sort of good at it, or goodish, so that when situations arise which might drag us off into distressing memories or feelings or thoughts or emotions, we're not so likely to get taken away and lost in a whole cycle of despair and fear if we know what presence feels like. Because if we practice it and are familiar with it, there's a chance that we can catch ourselves, bring ourselves back into presence. And usually it's not the present moment that's, you know, terrifying or fearful or painful. It's something from the past, and we get dragged into the experience of the past. The body memory comes up from the past. And if we practice being present when things aren't so scary, then we're familiar with it, becomes familiar territory. So to practice presence every day, you know, a couple of minutes at a time, you know, when you're standing in a queue, you know, the traffic lights at, you know, I don't know, the checkout, waiting for you to pay for your shopping, or brushing your teeth, or some little routine events that you can go, right, when I do that now, I'm just going to be present. I'm going to feel what it feels like, feel the sensations, taste the tastes, look around, take it all in, not get dragged off into the past or the future, just look, and just be quiet, and just center, ground, just become familiar with what that feels like. So that's one of the basic tools that's really good to practice every day as much as you can, you know, just practice that. And the classic meditation, you know, the breathing meditation is a classic way to practice that too. You're just coming back to the breath. If you can, sometimes the breath is a little bit of a scary thing to focus on for people, so you know, don't do that if that's if that's troubling, but can't use one of the other senses or something that you can tolerate. Okay, so that's it really. It's just a little sort of, yeah, just a reminder that presence is a very special, powerful place where lots of good things can happen and change can start to happen in that space of presence. So practicing it when you're feeling good and open and able to do that prepares you for the times that you're not, and then you have that capacity, and you can use it then, and create some space and some relief and some potential for change. Okay, right, thank you.